Bella Ramsey opens up about autism diagnosis. It's freeing. Bella Ramsey, the rising star known for their roles in The Last of Us and Game of Thrones, has made a heartfelt revelation about their autism diagnosis, sharing how it has profoundly reshaped their understanding of themselves and how they navigate the world. The 21-year-old actor, who identifies as non-binary and uses they/them pronouns, disclosed that they received the diagnosis while filming the first season of The Last of Us, a pivotal moment that has allowed them to embrace their identity with greater self-acceptance and compassion. In a candid interview with British Vogue, Ramsey opened up about their journey toward understanding their neurodivergence and how the diagnosis has brought them clarity and relief. "I've spoken a bit about neurodivergence before, but I always for some reason didn't want to," Ramsey admitted. However, they explained that the decision to seek a formal diagnosis stemmed from a conversation with a crew member whose daughter is autistic. The crew member had observed certain similarities between their daughter's behavior and Ramsey's and suggested that Ramsey might also be on the autism spectrum. "I got diagnosed with autism when I was filming season 1 of The Last of Us," Ramsey shared. "The realization," they said, "was both surprising and deeply validating. It just made so much sense. All these things that I'd always found difficult, like social interactions and everyday tasks that seemed to come easily to others, suddenly had an explanation." Ramsey explained that they had often felt like a weirdo and a loner, growing up, unsure why they struggled to connect with people in the same way others seemed to. "Autism was something I had always wondered about," they said. "I used to think, why can't I just get through a conversation without overthinking every single word? Or, why does it feel like my brain is running a marathon even when I'm just trying to order a coffee?" The formal diagnosis, they said, was freeing because it finally allowed them to understand that there wasn't anything inherently wrong with them. Their brain just functions differently. "It enables me to walk through the world with more grace toward myself," Ramsey said. "It's like I finally have permission to stop trying to fit into a mold that was never meant for me." A long journey toward self-acceptance. Ramsey's path to self-discovery has not been without its challenges. As a child, they often felt out of step with their peers. "I was that kid who preferred reading alone to going to parties," they recalled. "I'd get overwhelmed by loud noises or too much social interaction, and I never really knew why." Acting became a refuge for Ramsey, a structured space where they could explore emotions and relationships in a controlled environment. Their breakthrough role as Lyanna Mormont in Game of Thrones at the age of 13 thrust them into the spotlight, but the sudden fame came with its own set of difficulties. "I was always worried about saying the wrong thing or coming across as awkward," Ramsey admitted. "I'd replay conversations in my head over and over, analyzing every detail and wondering if I'd embarrassed myself." While filming The Last of Us, Ramsey experienced similar struggles but found unexpected comfort in the supportive environment on set. It was during this time that a conversation with a crew member prompted them to explore the possibility of autism. "There was this moment when someone on set said, 'You remind me of my daughter, who's autistic.' And I remember thinking, wait, maybe that's why I've always felt different," Ramsey recalled. That moment led them to seek out a formal psychiatric assessment, which ultimately confirmed their suspicions. Living authentically after diagnosis. Receiving an autism diagnosis, Ramsey said, has given them a newfound sense of peace and confidence. "It was like a weight lifted off my shoulders," they explained. "It's not that I suddenly became a different person, I just understood myself better." The diagnosis has also allowed them to approach their work and personal life with more self-compassion. "I've always been very sensitive to stimuli, bright lights, loud sounds, too much activity all at once, and now I know why," Ramsey said. "I used to think I was just being difficult or high maintenance, but now I realize that's just how my brain processes the world." They also spoke about the challenges of masking, a coping mechanism that many autistic people use to fit into social settings by mimicking neurotypical behavior. "I've spent so much of my life trying to hide the parts of me that felt weird," Ramsey said. "Now, I'm learning to let go of that and just be myself." Ramsey hopes that sharing their story will help to normalize conversations about neurodivergence and break down misconceptions about autism. "There's this stereotype that autistic people are emotionless or robotic, but that couldn't be further from the truth," they said. "I feel everything so deeply, sometimes too deeply, and that's part of what makes me who I am." The actor also expressed gratitude for the supportive people in their life who have helped them through the process of understanding their diagnosis. "My friends and family have been amazing," they said. "They've helped me see that I don't need to change who I am, I just need to lean into it." Embracing the future with confidence. Looking ahead, Ramsey feels more confident and grounded than ever before. "I used to feel like I had to constantly prove myself," Like I had to work twice as hard just to keep up with everyone else, they said. Now, I understand that my brain works differently and that's okay. They've also found strength in connecting with the autistic community. Hearing other people's stories and realizing that I'm not alone has been incredibly healing, they said. There's this beautiful sense of belonging that comes from knowing that other people understand what you're going through. Ramsey hopes that their openness will inspire others to embrace their own neurodivergence. If sharing my story helps even one person feel seen or understood, then it's worth it, they said. Autism is not a limitation, it's just a different way of seeing the world. As they continue to build their career, Ramsey is determined to approach life on their own terms. I'm learning to stop apologizing for who I am, they said. I'm autistic. I'm non-binary. And I'm proud of both of those things. Ramsey's story is a reminder that self-acceptance is a powerful force, and that embracing your authentic self can be the key to unlocking true freedom.